yourself, burn yourself, cut yourself, if you're post-surgery or even if you're pre-surgery, it would be really smart to put fat-soluble vitamin C right on the wound, right on the cut, right on the area that's going to be cut if you're about to have surgery. You maybe want to wait. You have a burn or something, you maybe want to wait until there's a little bit of tissue on top of the burn before you put the vitamin C on the skin. But the sooner you do, the sooner you get your vitamin C on top of the skin, whether it's in the form of my omega-6 healing cream or Truth Serum or Truth Balm. Check out truthtreatments.com, www.truthtreatments.com. The sooner you put that fat-soluble vitamin C on your skin, the faster you're going to access the body's built-in healing response. If you use bioflavonoids in addition to your vitamin C, or you're eating your bioflavonoids in addition to your vitamin C, you're going to get even more benefits, because bioflavonoids, or some people will just call them flavonoids, make vitamin C more available. And that includes bergamot. We've been talking about bergamot a lot, or we talked about bergamot last week with Dr. Jim Ehrlich. And if you're interested in purchasing my Bergamax product, head over to BrightSideHealthProducts.com. Bergamot flavonoids. Bergamot is loaded with really cool flavonoids. Very unique flavonoids, actually. And like all flavonoids, bergamot flavonoids can make vitamin C more available. If you're interested in wound healing, or you have a burn, or you're post-surgery or pre-surgery, it might not be a bad idea to use my Bergamax. You can get over to Brightside Health Products with vitamin C, with topical vitamin C, with internal vitamin C to enhance the availability of the vitamin C. And it's also why using topical vitamin C has benefits for healing of the skin, because topical vitamin C is going to be anti-aging, topical vitamin C is going to be healing, and topical vitamin C is also going to be helpful for thinning and wrinkles and fine lines. And that's true about all fatty vitamin C. Like vitamin A, vitamin C improves secretions. We said vitamin A is a secretory vitamin, improves secretions for tears, improves secretions in the respiratory tract, and improves skin secretions, and that makes vitamin A a moisturizing vitamin. Well, guess what? Vitamin C does the same thing. Vitamin C is also a secretion-enhancing vitamin. Vitamin C is found mostly in plants and fruits, as we say. Under circumstances of nutritional deficiency, of vitamin C deficiency, muscle, bone, structural components, including skin structural components, will not grow as effectively. Vitamin C in the blood tells the growing system that it's okay to expend precious resource on building tissue. When the brain spots vitamin C in the blood, it perceives the presence of vitamin C as an okay, that it's all right to expend precious resources on making collagen, making bone, making muscle, protecting the skin. Vitamin C is, in addition to being a secretory vitamin and a healing vitamin, is a protection vitamin. So vitamin C in the blood tells the body that it's okay to utilize and expend nutrients for building and for healing and for recovery. The body needs to feel safe and secure if it's going to be wound healing. The body needs to feel safe and secure if it is going to be building, and vitamin C represents safety, and vitamin C represents security. Using a vitamin C supplement and using vitamin C topically tells the body that all is right in the world. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this with your phone calls. Don't go away. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. On our next program, we'll continue talking about vitamin C. We'll talk about vitamin C for hyperpigmentation and what's called post-inflammatory pigmentation, or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Sometimes after you have a wound, or after you break out with a pimple, or if you pop a zit, you'll end up with hyperpigmentation, dark spots. Well, using vitamin C topically, applying it right to the wound, can help reduce the severity and the incidence of post-inflammatory, after you have an inflammatory, post-inflammatory, after inflammation, hyperpigmentation, dark spots. Certainly a lot more effective, or at least a lot less toxic than the drug strategies, the hydroquinone strategies that you get from the dermatologist. By the way, vitamin A, retinoic acid, is also anti-hyperpigmentation, thus the importance of using A and C together for dark spots, melasma, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. We'll talk about all that on our next Bright Side episode as we continue discussing skin health, vitamin C, and topical strategies, topical nutritional strategies for having beautiful, healthy, pretty, attractive skin. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. Nancy in Tennessee, what's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've heard you talking about NAC, N-A-C, and also DMAE for like liver health and any kind of like spots on the skin.
Yeah.
Can you take those at the same time, or do they?
DMAE and what was the other one you said?
N-acetylcysteine, NAC.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you can. DMAE, I was talking about DMA, dimethylaminoethanol, DMAE, as it regards lipofusion. Now, lipofusion is a fancy way of describing the dark spots that appear deeper in the skin. You know, you have two kinds of dark spots on the skin. You have the surface pigmentation. That's technically called melasma, and that's a surface pigmentation that will slough off over time, or you can encourage the sloughing off of, or you can help prevent or protect against using vitamin C and using retinol or vitamin A. But the kind of pigmentation you're talking about, that's deeper. And that really is not so much pigment as much as it is cell debris that is accumulating as we get older and we don't clear out our cell debris as effectively. It's called lipofusin, Lipofusin. And the DMAE that you're mentioning, that's involved in helping drain away that pigment, that cell debris or cell soot, some people call it. DMAE helps drain away, helps improve lymphatic drainage of the cell debris or cell soot, lipofusin. You can tell the difference between lipofusin and melanin or pigment by, number one, the depth of the pigment. If it's deeper, that's probably lipofusin. Also, the disorganized nature of lipofusin. Lipofusin tends to look almost like geographical, like the map of France or something, whereas melasma tends to be more circular and more structured or more organized. Also, lipofusin tends to be a little bit lighter than melasma, almost brownish as opposed to black or dark brown, more lighter brown color. Does that help you, Nancy?
And also iodine. A friend of mine was searching your site and thought she saw something on there, or at least a link about making your own iodine.
Lugol solution, making your own Lugol solution. Yeah, you could do that, but Lugol solution is pretty readily available. The best way to get your iodine is with iodoral, and that is a Lugol's-like solution, oral tablet or oral capsule, and that's the easiest way to do it. Lugol solution tastes really, really awful, and most people will stay away from it. With the iodoral, you get the iodine, Lugol's iodine, without having to deal with the taste. That's the way I recommend most folks get their iodine in a supplemental fashion. You can also find generic iodoral if you go on the internet, look up generic iodoral.
And then one more quick question.
Sure.
For leaky gut, is whey protein or whey powder okay with leaky gut?
It could go either way. You're going to have to see how you do. Whey protein is a building protein, so it can actually help build the gut. Whey protein also has factors in it that help support good bacteria in the intestines, so that can have some beneficial effects for you. On the other hand, some people will have a problem with whey protein, especially if they have a history of digestive issues or food intolerances. They may not be able to handle the whey protein, so you're going to have to see how you do. You can always go with the more specialty whey proteins, although I don't really recommend those because they're super heavily processed. But if it's basically going to be the kind of thing where you have to experiment and see how you do.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Good deal. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for calling, Nancy. Okay, let's go to Arizona. Welcome, Guy, to the Brace Side. What's going on, Guy?
How are you, Ben?
Hey, good morning. How can we help you?
Good morning. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having the courage to stand up and tell the truth.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm truly grateful to you, and I recommend your show to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Guy. That is very meaningful to me. I appreciate that. How can we help you?
I have a few issues. I'm pre-diabetic.
Okay.
My biggest issue is my insulin level is 30.
I'm sorry, say that again. Your biggest issue, and I didn't hear that.
My insulin level is 30.
Okay. All right. So you're starting to pump out. You're starting to get a lot of insulin. You want some help with that? Is that what you're calling?
That's That's
Okay.
it. I also have
Okay.
sleep apnea and very low testosterone.
They're all connected. They're all related. So once we take care of the blood sugar and the insulin, the sleep apnea should improve and your testosterone should improve as well. Okay, so first things first. For the elevated insulin, this is what happens for the listeners. Sounds like you know what's going on, Guy, but for the listeners, as we get older and our body starts to get kind of used to sugar, our insulin levels creep up in order to handle that excess of sugar. So over the course of time, insulin will creep up, insulin levels will creep up. The problem is, that while that's a good thing in the sense that the elevated insulin will help you handle sugar, the problem is insulin's got a lot of negative effects. Number one, it will stimulate, as we said yesterday, it will stimulate the growth of cysts and fibroids, etc. So you can run into problems that way with elevated insulin. Secondly, elevated insulin will increase the growth of cells inside blood vessels and cause blood pressure to go up. And then thirdly, elevated insulin will have a negative effect on your testosterone. And then also, fourthly, elevated insulin will cause you to gain weight. So simply by dropping your insulin, you're going to improve your testosterone, you're going to improve your blood pressure, you'll improve your blood fats, and also you'll also lose weight to boot. So a lot of benefits just by lowering your insulin. How do you do that? The first thing you do is you restrict your intake of fast-burning sugars, and along with that, Guy, you can restrict your intake of calories in general. Fasting and caloric restriction, and then also lowering your intake of breads and pastas, fruit juices, and all the insulin-spiking foods. That's step number one. Always step number one. Caloric restriction, that is eating less food, fasting, and reducing your intake of fast-burning sugars and insulin-spiking foods. That's step number one. Step number two is nutritional supplementation that will strengthen your insulin, make it more potent, so you don't have to pump out as much. So your pancreas isn't secreting as much insulin because it's stronger, because the insulin it is secreting has more potency. This is how the Sweeties works. This is how chromium vanadium works. It potentizes insulin, makes your insulin stronger so your body doesn't have to pump out as much. Your pancreas doesn't have to pump out as much. Get on the Sweeties. You want to do 2 or 3 of those capsules after every meal. Niacin, vitamin B3, has the same kind of effect, insulin potentizing effect. Niacin works hand in hand with chromium and vanadium. You'll get your niacin in the Healthy Start Pack. If you want some extra niacin, go get a timed release niacin and do 100 milligrams of it a day. Between the Healthy Start Pack, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Sweeties, and timed release niacin, you're going to go a long way towards potentizing your insulin. Now hang tight, because there's a couple more things I want to tell you about: selenium, magnesium, and a couple other things. So don't go away, Guy. And if you're on hold, hang on. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this. We are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Guy in Arizona about testosterone and diabetes. Guy, so reducing your intake of fast-burning foods, fast-burning sugars, and insulin-spiking foods, that's your first step. You know the drill. Breads, pastas, potatoes, rice, fruit juice, desserts, etc. Using nutrients to help stabilize blood sugar and protect or potentize insulin, chromium and vanadium, that's your Sweeties, and also zinc. I forgot I said one more thing. Oh, niacin, vitamin B3, and all the B vitamins work together. Vitamin C also has blood sugar stabilizing benefits. Zinc will do double duty for you. Number one, zinc is very important for helping the body process sugar. Zinc deficiencies are also very common, so it's a good idea for you to get on 50 milligrams a day of zinc pick, zinc picolinate, Picolinate. Zinc's also important for testosterone production. Zinc is a male hormone or anabolic or building mineral. We'll talk about zinc next week as it regards the skin. Testosterone, male hormone, is protective against diabetes, which means losing weight, or at least losing body fat, can be very helpful for you. Why? Well, female hormone is made in body fat, and female hormone will antagonize testosterone. It'll balance out or it'll reduce some of the effects of testosterone. So losing weight, dropping your estrogen will also help potentize insulin. Resistance training can help you, and all the caloric restriction strategies that we talked about earlier before we went to break, that'll help you drop some pounds also. If you do some fasting, that will be in your interest for a couple of reasons. Number one, it'll stabilize your sugar. Number two, it'll help you lose weight. And number three, it'll help you build muscle. Caloric restriction in combination with resistance resistance training is a great muscle building strategy. A couple more miscellaneous nutrients for helping stabilize blood sugar. In addition to magnesium and zinc, selenium is a very important mineral. You might want to try 400 or so micrograms of the ultimate selenium every day. And then vitamin E and alpha lipoic acid are two really interesting nutrients that work hand in hand with selenium and with vitamin C for that matter. 400 milligrams a day of alpha lipoic acid can be helpful for stabilizing your blood sugar. And then 400 IU a day, 400 to 800 IU a day of the mixed tocopherol form of vitamin E. So you got lots of wonderful strategies there.